Hello and welcome to another battle. This will be Egypt versus Carthage. I'm bringing, we can go over the builds later, or you can just pause here and you can see the builds. So I'm not going to go over the builds in detail, but I'm putting the Carthaginian hoplites up front, mercenary Iberian swords at the back, Libyans on the flanks, and Celtic light horse on the flanks together with Numidian nobles. Now, of course, I didn't know now what my opponent brought, but I guessed he was going to have chariots and elephants since he brought Egypt, and indeed he brought 2 African war elephants. A potential problem, but I have the tools to deal with those units. And I'm just sending out my Celtic horse as scouts here, sending out my mercenary Numidians wide, and now that I've got a fairly good look at his army, I know what I need to do. I need to make these African war elephants run amok, and I need to stop these chariots. Other than that, he has Thurio spears, thorax swords, and I'm not really worried about those. But what's really going to hurt me is that those generals and those chariots. Now my Celtic light horse, they got stopped by the citizen cavalry up here, no big deal. But it was a slight mistake on my part. Now over here, I'm charging the Celtic light horse into this citizen cavalry so I can get to his elephants here. Now let's see if we can make them run amok. Not yet. He did the same thing here. I want them to blob up here so I can make them run amok. Now I had them on skirmish mode here, which was obviously a huge mistake, because I wanted to keep chasing them, and I realized my mistake and I'm sending them back. Over here my Celtic horse is dead without really doing much. Now I'm starting the engagement a bit prematurely, but I do have a plan. Here I'm able to make the elephants run amok and straight into this blob, which was the plan. But over here you can see I'm baiting his elephants. I wanted them to charge straight through here, because now look at how fast they are going to die to these mercenary Iberian swords. There we go, out of control, and they should start to die really soon. There we go. A few more volleys and no more elephants. So you can see javelins are raining in on all sides here. He doesn't have control over them now, and now the elephants are just dying really quickly. So that was the plan, make him spend his general and his elephants charging straight through my lines and into this hail of javelins. Now these chariots are a problem, so I'm going to try to charge them with my general to stop them, but he's going to take some damage as well. And here his elephants are running amok straight through these thorax swords, getting a few of my men as well, but they are definitely hurting him more than me. Through some Thurio swords here, and now they are coming back, but he lost them at the critical point in the battle. Mercenary Numidian cav firing into the thorax swords here. I still haven't stopped his chariots, so that's quite bad, but my trusty Iberian swords are going to start throwing javelins, and that is going to make his chariots crash quite nicely. So actually I find javelins more effective in stopping chariots now than they were before. I think they've gotten a buff. So these mercenary Iberian swords really pulled their weight here by stopping both chariots and elephants, which would otherwise make this engagement very difficult for me. Now these elephants are doing fairly well. They are making these Carthaginian hoplites rout, but straight into my Numidian nobles and my Iberian swords. So they are going to be running straight through his lines and into these guys here, but that's really fine. The elephants have such little health left that they are going to die quite easily. And he has quite a few units left because a bunch of my guys routed, but I am in a very nice position because I have him surrounded, which was kind of the plan. And elephants still alive, but only 102 kills on them. Here they are coming back from routing, which could be disastrous here, but again, mercenary Iberian swords are throwing their javelins straight into them, which is killing them off nicely. Now Citizen Cav is going to run straight into my Iberians. I'm just charging the Citizen Cav. They don't have a very good charge, so I'm running in my mercenary Numidians as well. They are quite good in melee. And now I'm starting the envelopment of my opponent. It looks like he forgot this Citizen Cavalry over here, which can happen in the heat of battle. But Nubian bows going down. And I am losing quite a few men here, because the units he has left are strong, so the battle is by no means decided. His citizen cavalry is coming back from being idle. His elephants, I haven't managed to kill his elephants yet, and I think these Numidians are out of ammunition, or no, they are actually not. So I'm seeing them. Seeing that I can do something with them here, and charging them straight. Nope, I'm running away. Running away. So I'm going to have to deal with these elephants. I'm turning around these Carthaginian hoplites and charging the Numidian noble cavalry in while these guys are moving. Not really getting a whole lot of kills, but as you can see, since they got 2 chevrons, they didn't have that at the beginning of the battle, I think, so they have gotten some nice kills against high value units. And here we go, managed to get some javelins. I think it was my Libyan infantry that threw javelins on the charge here. So the mercenary Numidian cav is just horsing around a bit over there. And now the battle is starting to turn in my favor, because I kept these completely fresh units in reserve. And you can see Citizen Cav is routing. Over here, my mercenary Numidian cavalry, of all things. My Numidian nobles are killing his Citizen Cavalry. And now I'm going to be able to get in some nice rear charges on his thorax swords there. So it wasn't the best game. I did made quite a few mistakes, but the main thing is I wanted to see if I could stop his elephants with only those cheap swords, and I actually could. So I'm not too worried about them, as long as I bring those Iberian swordsmen, which are useful for quite a number of tasks on the battlefield. Now here you can see the envelopment turns into me being the enveloped one. But since I have more units left, I can do some rear charges, and the Libyan infantry are winded, but these guys are very tired. And so my mercenary Numidian cav are going to go in for a rear charge here, and let's see if they can make them waver. So now this is just the final blob, what's left here. And he is starting to waver. These Libyan infantry are holding their ground extremely well, but as you can see, they aren't really killing too many guys. But these units were depleted, and although they have gotten a lot of kills, they are not liking the current engagement that they're in, because they have been attacked in the rear. And my mercenary Numidian cavalry are now attacking these citizen cavalry, I believe, which are confident. And I'm just going to speed this up, because nothing really interesting happens here. It's just a bunch of fighting. Maybe it is possible that my opponent had formation attack on, and that made me look at them push around that elephant there. That's a pretty lightweight elephant. But anyway, that was a costly victory, and rightly so. But let's look at the kills. These units together cost a shit ton of points, but he wasn't really able to do too much with it. He got more kills than me by far, but my most effective units were, judging by the kills, it was these the Libyan infantry and the mercenary Numidians. But the real MVPs were these mercenary Iberian swordsmen that stopped both chariots and elephants, and significantly damaged another elephant. So it wasn't the best of battles, but the reason I wanted to show you this battle was because it shows how elephants and chariots need to be careful around even light infantry, especially light infantry like well, Thuria spears I guess are medium infantry, but any kind of infantry that can throw pila or javelins, especially those that have 80 range, like these mercenary Iberians, and that are cheap, can pose real problems for the elephants. And as you can see, thorax swords, really good solid units now. Citizen cavalry are okay. They hold out for quite some time. I made some mistakes with my cavalry micromanagement, and my hoplites didn't do too well, but it was enough to just barely get a win here. It was really close at the end. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon.